be afraid to change, to pivot. And I can tell you the reason why you never want to be afraid to pivot is because there's so many great new things coming out that if we put our head in a box, we're going to miss it. Now, that's not to say that we have to constantly change, which, if you notice, a lot of stuff is encouraging that right now because the tools are coming out so fast. It's almost like they're encouraging change rapidly. But pivoting away from like the chat GPTs and the canvas may not be a bad choice. Here's what I mean. Now, I'm probably going to be a little sluggish inside of here today because I'm literally pivoting to some AI agentic type of tools to create our digital products. And they, let me tell you, are amazing. Just to give you a little understanding, if you've been used to using your chat GPTs and your canvas to create your digital products, then I can tell you, you're going to love what some of these agentic tools can do because they're amazing. You literally can just leave them alone and they do the work that you want them to do. Now, I'm going to be breaking out this stuff a little bit more, but I want to show you just a couple of ideas. And I can tell I'm really, really slow right now. I can see that the screen is kind of sketchy. And that's because I got one of these tools working and it takes power. It takes a lot of power. So if we can get through it, if y'all can kind of, if it looks a little bit like, we've seen the karate movies and the mouth isn't moving quite with well, then you know what I mean. But pivoting to agentic AIs and away from some legacy tools. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of legacy tools and what I'm doing with them and why I still love them. And I've learned to use some of the old school tools using some of the new school rules. That's what I want to show you today. So, all right. Now, if you're brand new here, I'm going to close out a few of my things here so that you can maybe, catch up with me a little bit. So if you're brand new here, then you know that one of the big things that we are doing is I'm showing you how to create digital products from your ideas. I want you to be able to create digital products from your ideas. Now, if you've been back before, I'm going to show this page quite a bit. So if we can create stuff like this, then we can put it out as content into these different areas. And then we can do all kinds of stuff with it. We can put it on YouTube. We can make shorts for IG. We can create even shorters for TikTok, put the stuff on X, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. There's more. But if we can do that, then we can go out there and create quite a few digital products for ourselves. So what I've been doing is coming on every single day, giving you a chance to work with me if you want to. All you got to do is hit the description field and look at some of the tools and or DM me. I've been getting a lot of people DMing me, just thanking me for stuff, saying, hey, man, thank you for, covering ChatGPT. Or the other day I got one and the lady says, I've been wondering how I can turn a PowerPoint into other things. And that's one of the other things I show. So if you haven't seen some of the other shows, they're all on the lives. The thumbnail's not exciting. It's not meant to be. It's just to tell you every single day I'm showing up. And if you show up, this is what the whole idea was about. Now, how this came about, y'all, is I put a challenge out there. I put this challenge right here out there. I says, hey, what would happen if we created a product a day for 30 days? I'm going to challenge you. So then I says, okay, great. I put it out there. I sat on my hands a little bit on this because one of the first things was I wanted to charge like $30. You figure $1 a day. And then, you know what? It's Christmas time. Why don't I just offer people a chance to work with me to help build these things out? And you can work with me by naming your own price. How cool is that? Now, that's not unusual naming your own price because I do it on some of my Gumroad store stuff and some of my PayHip rolls or PayHip store stuff. So you get a chance to do this, right? What to do next? Click or tap the link to enter the challenge. I didn't leave the link. Well, you can go in the description field. Here's some things that people say about me, blah, blah, blah. I don't like to brag on myself, but I let other people talk and says, hey, man, this dude is jamming. He's helping me out, right? I call myself the monetize your life guy. I usually put it up on the screen, but, well, there's a bird up there today, so deal with it. It's with this idea. Create this kind of stuff. Now, when we get into talking about, well, couldn't we do this faster? Couldn't we do this kind of stuff faster using agentic tools? Absolutely. Now, those things can get out of hand. They can get away from you really, really quickly. And I'll show you a couple of instances. But I've been working on it every day, all day. So I'm going to show you an old school tool. I can't believe I'm literally saying that this is an old school tool. This is a beautiful tool. But I can tell you as a result, what I have done, and it's coming to, it's coming to that point now. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up real quick. What window is it in? It doesn't show itself. All right, let me see if I can find it real quick. And again, this is live, y'all. I'm live. So you get a chance to see what's happening right live. So here is Canva. Now, Canva is a beautiful tool. It does a lot of cool things for folks. But when we start talking about moving away from these kind of tools and moving into tools that do more stuff, I didn't think it was going to be possible. I was like, there is no way. Moving away from the Canvas, which is new. And you saw, if you looked at some of the earlier shows that I've done, this is the 9th day. Check out some of the other lives and just watch them all, right? Even if you're busy, just put your earphones on and just kind of look at it and see what I'm doing, moving around, showing you different tools, then go into the description field and grab them. And I'm going to leave up on the screen too, obviously, the opportunity to work with me. And then the opportunity to, if you dig this, you say, I want this guy to do more of that, to buy me some coffees. Okay? Because I'm tired today. I've been working since, I've been up at the coffee house doing my thing, but literally working since like 8. And it's 9 now. So I've been working straight. Well, I did take an hour and a half bath, just saying. Because I think bros need to take baths too. I'm just going to tell you. Right? I got a site that's coming that's talking about that. Anyway, another story. This is what I do. I create, and then I show you how to create too. So you see what we got here. So Canva's got all these different things. I got all these different projects that I've created in Canva. And I'm going to show you, like you notice, like today, I created this just 3 hours ago, just for today. Then there's some things that I'm doing. I'm editing some old product packaging. I'm editing some of the packaging, and I had to put it in the Canva so that I can do a couple of things with it. And then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. If we can use some of these new school tools, and I'm going to show you, look at this. This is one of the products that's over in the page I'm going to show you. Here was a thumbnail that I did for my buddy Rob and I for one of our podcast. And then here is, the Monetize Your Life guy. This dude, right? That's me. I had to, do everything I can to get this guy to become African American. It was a chore. But so these are kind of things that we've been able to do with Canva. Now, having said that, now that we have AI, and now we have, might as well call it AI plus, agentic tools just do stuff for you. You set them and they work 24/7 without complaint. Now, if you notice a couple of the videos I talked about earlier, and I've been doing some other videos too that aren't lives, you know that these tools will eat up some credits. And boy, will that just burn your butt. I was so pissed off the other day that I ran out of credits literally in the middle of doing something. Actually, it happened again today. But anyway, so these are the kind of things that we can create with our legacy tools. So when we say pivot, we're talking about pivoting to something that's better. Well, we'll see. Let's go ahead and take a look at another tool. Okay, here it is. This one is called REVE, Rev. Now, Rev just gave me a message. It says, I wanted to do I've been, I'll put in things and you can tell it to, create something new. If you notice here, that older one that I had in Canva, once I put it into Reeve, and I asked it, I says, hey, make this look better, modernize it. And I'll give you the example of where it came from, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we say, well, what should I pivot to? There are apps like these, and I'm going to show you a couple more. I got these in the description field. Take a look at them. Here it is. I says, hey, here's the old look that I created in Canva. And then I put it over here in Reeve and I says, hey, this is what I need. I need 600 by 600 pixels because this is where, when they end up in Gumroad, that's what Gumroad needs. And I noticed in Gumroad, a lot of my products didn't have pictures. It's because when Gumroad changed, they says, hey, all your pictures got to be uniform, 600 by 600, and some of them weren't. And I'll show you that in a second. But then it said, okay, great. This is what Reeve said. Reeve says, I can do that. Look at this. New eCourse startup audio. And that looks better, right? This is yellow with some green. Okay, that looks a little old. This one looks a little old too, but not bad. This one, no. So I'll just do like this. I'll just delete that. It's one of the things we have the ability to do is just delete it. All right. See, move background. No, I just want to delete it. Let's leave it alone. You never know. So, and then this one right here wasn't too bad. It still looked a little older. I didn't kind of dig it all the way. So I was like, but I really like this one. This is pretty cool. But now I would have to go and change so many other things. So today, what I did was I went over, I looked on YouTube and I says, let me look at some thumbnails and see, if there's anything that's interesting and exciting that I can show you. Right. So hopefully y'all seeing this. Double check. I think so. So I put in a whole bunch of thumbnails and it said, you are out of credit, sir. I was like, what? So I wanted to say, use these. It said, I want to inform you to recreate the thumbnails. Now it gives you like 24 hours. And I say with my face. Right? And let's see what happens. I understand the recreate, but I need to let you know. Look at that. What did I tell you? Oh man, that burns your butt, doesn't it? I understand that you want to do this, but you're out of credits. Whew. If you saw the video I did the other day, I was like getting after it. Now, that's one thing you didn't have to worry about when we use Canva. So let me show you that real quick. Go over to Canva. I don't even think I was showing y'all that, was I? My bad. Let's do this again. There we go. So this is the old one. This is the actual new one. This is the one that is in limbo, that is giving me this message right here. I understand, but you're out of credits. That'll burn you up. And then you go, okay, these new tools think they're slick. So what they're trying to do is keep you on app. Like I said before on one of my other videos, they're trying to keep you on so that you can stay there and use up your credits. And I even accuse one of them. Yes, I use that word strongly. Accuse one of them of doing it on purpose. I said, are you doing this on purpose so I use up all my credits so that I would maybe go to the next tier? So that you start thinking about that. Well, why wouldn't they? It would be awfully excuse me, it would be awfully difficult for them to not build in some mistakes. That's what got me going. So I says, I got to come up with another plan. So anyway, I use this. Now you can do some sneaky stuff like getting other, email accounts and coming in and maybe get your, five or six and then use another whatever. But at some point you may decide to go ahead and use it. Now I have a rule, and y'all know how I get down. I'm going to monetize your life guy for a reason. If something costs you, always make sure you have a chance to recoup your cost by being able to sell it, by becoming an affiliate for it. I'll be showing you all of this stuff if you want to work with me or if you come into one of my courses. I'm going to be delivering a whole bunch of courses on this stuff too. Live one-on-ones, some people don't have time for all that, so they'd rather just say, hey, look, send me the course and then I'll follow it when I get time. Okay, that's fair. Lives, like I'm doing now, are valuable. They're gold nuggets. Like I said, I'm dropping gems for you. So you see this. So it does all kind of cool stuff. And I've had all kinds of stuff made in here, trying different things, redoing different things, coming up with different things. It does some amazing stuff. I needed this today. I literally needed this today because I was changing something and I literally needed to use it. But anyway, so you see, you can do all kind of stuff in here, right? This is a book cover that I was recreating. Again, creating digital products, y'all. This is right here. That's scary, right? I really wanted this one though, because I wanted to download it and use it for, I just talk, and I was going to share with the lady that I did the talk with on ways that she can now monetize what she just did, right? So let's go ahead and download that image. You see, it's got a nice one. They did a pretty good job. That's probably why I didn't grab it. Okay. And then I took it from here and made it look better. You see how it was kind of, funky here. And then they kind of, tighten it up a little bit here. Can you do some of that stuff in Canva? Yeah. Sometimes Canva will let you do some amazing things. But again, we talk about tools that are agentic tools and then some of our old school tools. Now let's look at another oldie but goodie. I can't believe we're actually calling this thing an oldie, but this is the Chat GPT. Let's look at Chat GPT. All right, you couldn't see that. Chat GPT's got to be saying to themselves, are we old already? What is happening? So again, what I did with that Chat GPT is I put in those whole bunch of thumbnails. I took that's why it's skinny like this, but it could see it. It actually can see it. So I says, hey, use these thumbnails. Of these thumbnails, not even spelling right. So if my English teacher is watching, I apologize. Your classes did work, but when you got these tools, you just don't. You don't have to. So anyway, so I says, okay, listen, this is what I want. I want you to look at these thumbnails. Now, again, what we're working toward is creating digital products for ourselves. And if we can create digital products for ourselves, then we can put our digital products out there like little assets, doing what assets are supposed to do, bring us back money. They're supposed to go out there and bring us back money. That's the whole idea. Now, again, I say this because this is for educational purposes. I'm not giving you financial advice. This is my disclaimer. Results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. You're going to see a couple of pieces where I've earned money. And I tell you again, results are not typical, implied, guaranteed, or even promised. People that try to make money like this, make money online. It's not a lot. And you'll see a couple of them, not a lot, but it's something. And if you have the consistency of that something, then it matters. So listen, so I did this, put it in the Chat GPT. And one of the other things that we're not doing with ChatGPT is we're not using projects. We've got to use projects. We've got to make our custom GPTs. It's a little extra work, but man, they're going to save you. A project will say, this is how you talk. And if you want to just be talked to in that particular style, pull the project up, then put in your prompt. And here is something even more important. Is ask the GPT to tell you how you should prompt it. Trust me when I say this. Ask it. and it will give you an amazing answer. Say, based on what I'm asking you here, what is the prompt for this? Y'all see it? So now I'm saying, in this case, is giving me some ideas because I have YouTube channels. I got multiple YouTube channels, and I'm always looking for a way to understand the best thing to do. Some of the channels work and some of the channels don't, but I don't need them to work in the YouTube sphere perspective because I know how to monetize them. Whether I got 4 subscribers or 4,000, whether I got 4,000 hours or 40. And that's something that I show you in one of my best videos talks about that. And I just did a whole bunch of shorts on that. Again, broke it up, pivoted to using a different tool, a tool that I had says, I'm not using your tool. And then they says, well, we'll give you some free credits. I says, I'm using your tool. And of course, what happens? I used it. I got 2 pieces. I was able to break up one long video into some shorts, but they just made it so easy. And it was like, oh, this is really good. They put in the words. It was beautiful. So I thought, that puts another tool that I use on notice. You see how this works? We take the old school and we look at it. And sometimes the old school says, I don't cost you a lot. There's nothing wrong with me. Leave me alone. And then this AI and this agentic stuff says, yeah, but I'll run all night. That's not going to run all night. But then the agentic says, but I'm going to use up some credits and I'm going to use up some bandwidth. So juggle it, pivot, being unafraid to pivot, to try things. I try not to burn it all down, but sometimes you just have to. Okay. So I had it do me some thumbnails, and it gave me some really good ideas. So once I get an idea and I say, well, this is a problem for me. And if it's a problem for me, I wonder if it's a problem for other people. So there becomes your opportunity. See it? The opportunity is like, I can use what is considered kind of an old school tool like Canva and ChatGPT. I can now go over to new school tools like Reeve, as I showed you earlier. Let's go ahead and show that one again. To Reeve, and then another one that I use called Galaxy. Oh, that's just fantastic. I'm so thrilled with this darn thing. I don't know what to do with myself. I left that in the description field for you too. So let's go over to Galaxy. Oh my gosh. I'm creating all kind of stuff. So here's what I told Galaxy. I've got this idea that I'm going to use old method versus new method. Old method of creating digital products and new method of creating digital products. We're going to be utilizing we're going to be pivoting in essence, pivoting to using agentic type tools. Okay. And it says, okay, great. This is what I do for a living. You give me some money and I'll do this for you. So here are some of the things. I put 2 images in there and I'll show you where I got these images from. And this is what it did. So I put in this tool right here, and then I told it old school, again, old method versus new AI method. We're pivoting now. We're thinking about how we're going to do this. I hadn't put my image in yet because it just didn't do a good job of it. But let's go ahead and pop this open. You couldn't see the tab. No worries. I got you. I got you now. So the old method was hard work, right? Now I could do a faceless situation if I want to with this. That's actually one of my how did it know that? Oh, I got to use this right away. Oh, yes. Oh, I know how it knows that. So look what it developed for me. So here's the old method, hard work. It's still a tool. Hard work could be the Canvas and some of the other tools they used to use, Adobe and all that kind of stuff. Poor Adobe. Oh man, this just came along and then here's the new method. Man, I really like this. I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and download it, and then I'll use it in some of one of my things. Now I can't really I don't want to really use this one. I guess I could, but I'm not that guy. I would love it if it would say, hey, I'm going to ask it to put when I get some more credits. Oh no, actually I have credits for this one. So anyway, I'm going to say, now put my image in. It'll do the best it can. You want to see it live? You want okay, I'll tell you what. I'll do it live. I'll say, okay, now created this way. Let's look at this guy. So old method, new method. So here's the old method. Here's the new method. I like that one too. And then what I'll do is I'll put my image in there. Let's see if we can go do it right here. Maybe edit the image. All right. So it's saying that it's using nano banana. I don't really nano banana's all right. It's pretty good. Flux Pro is pretty good. Nano banana's not too bad. But I can say change out his picture with mine. Does that make sense? So let's say change out for mine. Keep everything else the same. Fair? Now, a lot of people were saying that they really liked to, me to show these workflows. So I said, great, I'll do it. All right. Now I don't have nothing nasty on my computer, so y'all don't got to worry about it. All right. So I'm going to show some of these pictures. I'm just going to go right over to my images. Because I want you to be able to see this stuff as I do it so that you can literally say, man, this guy is jamming. Can he show me this stuff? Yes, I'm going to show you. This is what I'm making the offer to do, is to show you. All right. So here's a couple of these are some AI Randys. You might enjoy that. Here's Randy, me talking. All right. And then so here's one. Let's go ahead and use this one. I think that's not bad. All right. So let's see if it can do it. I don't know. It might, but again, what we're doing is we're using some different tools. We're going to use Nano Banana. Right? Why that name? I don't know, but whatever. Right? I think they actually was joking when they made it, and it's telling me again that I'm going to be using, in this case, 0 credits. I think they just want me to stick around. Right? And I got a lot of credits on this one because I do these things to get more credits. I bring other people in to get more credits. Okay. All right. Not too bad, right? Let's see if it looks better because it's got me all in the way. But you see how they had this dude, right, at first, and now they got me here. Look at this. First they had this dude. Now I said, hey, put me in there. Not too bad. Now, remember, we were using another tool to do this. Let's see how it looks in preview. See, now it just didn't do it right. Look at that. Now it could put me all in the center. I don't want to be all in the center. So this is what I'm talking about. You got to be careful because not all the time does it do what you want it to do. And you may have to go tell it, say, change this picture out for mine. But make sure, so I should say, but make sure. Edit history. Okay. All right. Current prompt. All right. I got to come out of this. This is one of those things where you just kind of go, ugh, come on, guys, do it right the first time and I won't have to mess with this. Okay. I think you kind of get the idea, is that we've got the Canva, and it's nothing wrong with Canva. It's nothing wrong with Canva. But new stuff is better in certain instances. Now, remember Photoshop? Photoshop was everything, right? And then Canva came along and the Photoshop was like, hey, and everybody started using this other tool. And it made billions of dollars. Okay, fine. Now we've got these AI tools that are coming along saying, hey, we'll do stuff while you're asleep. I'll give you an example. I had this. I'm gonna go look at it real quick. I'll show you maybe if if it came up with something that looks decent enough. Okay, because sometimes, man, they'll trip out on you, and you don't know what the heck is going on. Like, look at this. This is terrible. You can't see this, and thank goodness you can't, because it's just bad. It didn't do what I wanted. Oh, wait a minute. I am tripping. It did do something good. Oh, all right. This is not too bad. Let me show you then. So here's another tool. You may have not seen this tool before. You may not have seen this tool because sometimes I keep them to myself, or sometimes they're just not working the way I want. Now I'm going to show you this one right here. This is another one. And I asked a very specific thing of this tool. At first I was like, this is terrible. But look, I had another tool that was building this out. So this is an agentic tool. You can just let it run. I promise you could just let it run and just go to bed and it'll just run. It don't need a lot of instruction is the point. A lot of these other tools, even ChatGPT, if you notice, ChatGPT will ask you a million questions. Well, you kind of want it to do that because again, these tools will run out on you, right? They'll just like run away. And you're like, hey, I didn't want all that. But by that time, it's already done its job. So what I did was I built it in another tool. I built the same site in another tool. And then I came over here to Manus and I said, hey, Manus, you agentic, beautiful guy. Build the same thing. Here's some information. So I gave it the files from the other one. I gave it a developer brief. I promise you, I gave it a developer brief. And then I gave it some other stuff. I'll show you the other two. I'll show you what the other one made for me. Not too bad. Not too bad. It did a really good job. I don't think they even show it no more. I'll have to show you in another application, y'all. Let's see if we can get it to work. If you want to just, hang with me. And if you notice, I forgot to even put in here that if you really like this stuff, that you can always get on my calendar. I forgot to put that up. And you can always buy your boy some coffee. Right? I'm drinking coffee every day. It's awesome. I've been up since 8 drinking coffee. And I stop around 1 or 2. Okay. If you're really enjoying it, go ahead. Now, if you want to get some of these tools, what I suggest is I'm going to see if I can leave some of that information for you too. In the description field, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description field, you'll see a lot of that stuff. I'm supposed to have this background going. Oh yeah, I think it still is. Okay. So let me see which one. One of these apps you can get this app right now. This one that I just showed you, get that tool right now. It's good. It really won't break your heart. It's a really good tool. Talking about the Galaxy AI. That is in the description field. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Now, this is when I'm creating, this is what it created for me. Oh, I'll have to show you in a different screen, y'all. My bad. I download the developer brief. Yep, I did that. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, and then I'll get you. I think this is it. It looked pretty darn good when I saw it last. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. There it is. I had to get this tool to show what I'm showing. All right, this makes no sense. I think maybe it will. Operator error. Okay, y'all ready? Now, again, I want to show you this before we go over here. This is the whole idea. This is why we're doing this. This is why I'm getting out there and showing you all of this stuff. And I'm saying, let's work together. It's because if you're sitting over here like I was with all these tubs and tubs of ideas, oh my gosh, and I didn't have an outlet for them. And then I started just building. And then the tools came along that I can build faster. And now what I'm saying is I was using some of the legacy tools, which worked beautifully, built a whole bunch of stuff. And you'll see those in a minute. Now we talk about pivoting to some of the AI tools. This is what I'm getting at. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to be afraid. You look over here and go, God, I can't do this. I'm, 188 years old. So what? In fact, I have been encouraged. If you're older, if you're over 40, if you're in your 50s, if you're in your 60s, I'm not there yet. But do you realize how much stuff you have accumulated from life? This is why I'm saying, come on, let's work together, because I'm going to show you how to take all of that and do all of this kind of stuff. You don't have to be the one that's doing all of it and going, oh my gosh, I'm like thumbs on this stuff. Mm-mm. I've learned it. Now I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk with you. Get on my calendar. I got time now. Classes are out. Don't start back until March. So I am going hog wild on helping people. All right. So y'all want to see it? So we're going to be doing this. We're pivoting and using some AI tools. I'll go back and forth throughout this 30 days. I'm doing the 30 days because I wanted to just give a gift, if you will, of instead of 2 days. Y'all know how I do. If you're brand new, you'll hear this for the first time. But if you've been here, you'll be like, okay, there he is again. He's talking about why he hates Cyber Monday and Black Fridays, because that's like giving 2 days out of the year of sales. Nah, I'm going to give 30 days of just being able to say, I want to work with you. And can I just buy you some coffee? A lot of coffees, or I'd like to name my own price. Fine, let's do it. Because I think it's that important. Like I say, especially if you're 40, 50. Now let's leave the 40-year-olds out. Sorry, 40-year-olds. Y'all still kind of young. I'm young, but you know what I mean. 50, 60, 70. Huh? You know how much stuff you got up here. I taught my 86-year-old mother-in-law how to create a digital product. I promise you I did this. You'll see it on some of my stuff. 86. Well, heck, she's 88 now. When she was 86, I sat with her. I pulled the information out of her. I asked her a couple of questions, and she, 86 years old, had so much to say. That was the point, because she's lived a life. And boy, I created that product. I took it and I did this, I did that, and I did this, and I said, here it is. Now that thing is out there doing a couple things. So look at this. Here's the tool. Let me jump off of this one and jump into the actual original that made it. So I'll show you the original. Here is the actual original. Let's see if it's in a window. There it is. Here's the original. Now I'm helping a friend of mine. I'm helping him earn his first $1,000 with his new product. Right? Give them their own song on Spotify. All right. So this is the tool. This is what one of the tools built. And of course, I mean, it takes some stuff. It takes me, it ain't easy, but it's easier than what we used to have to do. Now, I'm going to give you an idea of what we used to have to do, and you'll kind of understand. So I built that one. Now, remember, I says I liked it, what it did over here, but I had to do a lot of little things. I had to do some work. And then I said, well, let's pivot into using one of these agentic tools. And let's see what the agentic tool can then do to make this even better and make it even faster. I didn't even know if it was going to do a better job. I know it's taking a lot of power. That's why I'm kind of staticky right now. It's taking a lot of juice. So got to be aware of that. So I said, okay, great. Let's go ahead and see what you can do. Right. At first I said, this is all you made. I am unsatisfied. Then I realized, oh, these are pages. So it created something interesting. And I thought, now that might be something we can work with. Right? Look at that. Now again, this is just when I first saw this, I said, well, I don't want just that. That's no good. And then I didn't realize that it had all these pages. That was the point. It had multiple pages. All right, so let's do this. That's a part of it. Common questions. That's the frequently asked questions. Right, there's a pricing. It did a little something different. You see it use some of its own coloring. This is not good. So I would have to tell them, hey, you need to change this. This is no good. But guess what'll happen? It'll say, that's fine. You have no more credits. That's one of the things that'll burn you. Okay, so I'm going to now show you The reason why we want to do some of these other tools, why we want to use some of these other tools is because we've got work to do, y'all. We've got some things that we have to do. So I'm going to show you this here in a second as soon as it pops it up. Oops. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at, no, not that one. Not that one either. Where is the stuff at? I don't see it. I probably, okay. I'm going to close out some of these because they're just taking up too much darn juice. Is that cool? Let's go ahead and close out. You've seen Rev, you've seen what it can do, you've seen ChatGPT, so I can get out of that. So let's see if we can, because it's got so much power that this thing is taking, that it's starting to just suck the juice out of everything. So I'm going to close some out, and then we can get over there to these darn things, man, because this is, oof. All right. So let's look at, all right, I need another window. All right, let's try this. Let's see if let's see. We got the whole screen up now. Yeah, y'all can see everything. So let me show you this one. All right, here's one, entire screen. This is one that I use. Here's an old school. This is not an old school tool, but I was able to use some of my new school stuff to create this page. It's one of my pages. It works perfectly. And that's what I wanted to make sure that you got. Wait, you mean we can, because you got a lot of money and time and energy and all kind of stuff that you have done, invested in this stuff. Muscle memory, right? So you're saying, well, I've got all this time invested. I got to learn a brand new tool. Well, not necessarily. Like I say here, let's take a look. That, listen, the ideal is that we take all of these ideas and that we allow ourselves to pivot. Now you can see me, right? So I just want to make sure that we can see this other one here. We allow ourselves to pivot. Be unafraid. Be unafraid, my friends. I'm here with you. We're going to do some interesting things. All right. And now let's take a look at, again, we're going to be using stuff like this. This is in the description field. Grab it. Grab that tool. Grab that tool. Let me see if I got it in here. Grab that tool, y'all. All right. Get on my calendar. Get that app right now. I'm going to take that out real quick. I'm going to also suggest that you help me keep it going. Let's see. I got somebody in. Oh, that's me. Got somebody in the stream. Thought it was somebody in the stream. It's me. So I'm going to go ahead and say, here is where you can just buy me some coffee. I'm going to just let it scroll out. You might be on your phone. Let's go back here. You know, we're doing this. Here is one that is fascinating, but it eats up your credits. Man, I was over. This is what we were using earlier, but this is what more it can do. Text to video, image to video. Now, look at the pricing on this puppy. Right? $13.09. I love odd pricing. 3,600 total credits, 300 monthly credit recharge. Now, that's kind of sneaky, ain't it? 300. Wait a minute. Let's see if I got this right. You're not telling it all to me. 3,600 total credits. Yeah, but you're only going to get 300 monthly. So you go, wait a minute. You start doing some math, and my math geniuses have already worked this out. So you're saying I'm only going to get 300 credits a month. That's basically what they're saying. And if you go to the $23, you get 9,600 total credits. So now that should get into your craw a little bit, because you're going to be like, I want to use the heck out of this tool because this thing will do some interesting things, but it's going to chew up credits. But that's the game. And the game for us is to model that. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with the monetize your life guy? Are you with me? It is to model that. I kid you not. We have in front of us the ability to do as they do. That's our goal. Let's do as they do. I'm going to be showing you some stuff on that. You guys want to buy me some coffee? I will do it for you. So hopefully y'all can see this good. And it's not just crazy. Let's see is it looking crazy? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and stop sharing. So hopefully y'all was able to see each individual one. Let me stop sharing real quick. Yeah. See, this thing is chewing up power. Chewing up power. You probably can't even see me now. Let's see if I can't make this better. So listen, if you can hear me, awesome, because it just went poop. It's as if it still got me up here and it's stuck. So I'm going to have to go and do an end task on it. Ah, there it is. Look at that. Looks like it kicked me out. All right. So it's getting a little poopy right now. But I was using so much power that's one of the things you'll discover when you start using a lot of these other tools. They will chew up that power. So, let's see. I had you over here looking at Reeve. Remember I showed you the pricing on Reeve? That's because it is a powerful tool. I love this thing, man. I haven't even stepped into using some of these tools. All right, let's look at some examples. And I'm not an affiliate for them, but man, I tried. I'm looking all over where I can become an affiliate because I believe in it. I like it. I use it. So I'm looking all over. Hey, where can I? Because before I even remember how I talked about it, before I pay a dime, I want to know if I can recoup my cost by being an affiliate for it because I really love it. Then I'm going to use it. But I want to share something with you. Look what's underneath the hood. This is the key. Text to image, Nano Banana. Where do we see that? Oh, wait a minute. I had Nano Banana over here on Galaxy, didn't I? So remember in a couple of episodes ago, I talked about the wrapper, not the R, the WRAPPER. What's wrapping it? What is the API it's using? That's the point. That's what we get to. So look at this. We've got generate with Weave, we've got Reeve, we've got generate with Nano Banana, but generating with Reeve, something is powering it. Anthropic, which is what puts out Claude. It's got either that, it's got OpenAI, which put out ChatGPT. It's got some of the Chinese models, the Manuses of the world, the Deep Seeks of the world, the Kimi K2 thinking. You see where I'm going with this? So we find out what's wrapping it and just go right to the source. And sometimes if the source isn't too bright, then what they'll do is that they'll let you just buy it from them and you can do what you want. You can use the API key, which is coming. I'm going to share a little bit about that too, but I don't want to overwhelm y'all. It's only 9 days in. And I want you to work with me, right? Let's go back over here and look back at this one. This again is a legacy tool that we're using to create stuff like this. I think y'all get it. I'm going to jump off because I have told you what I want to tell you for today. Hey, we've talked about pivoting away from the ChatGPTs and toward these agentic AIs. Some of them are coming out. They're not truly agentic. That means, but they're agentic enough. Some of them you can just put out there and they will run for you all night. So that's when you think it just works for me. But you think agent, in other words, something that works for me. Something that there's one that I use that has 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll have 4 agents working on one problem. Or one thinking models. Agent is better than thinking model, right? Saying it that way. Can you imagine that? That's like our brain. We have all these different things that inform when you have a question, a problem, something you're working out. It informs it, all these different things. Now we got agents that'll do it for us. That's the whole idea. And that's why I wanted to come on and show you this stuff, is because it's fun, it's powerful, and it's here. And it's for us. We can use it. Some of them cost a couple of bucks, sure. But you wrap a business around it and talk to your tax person and see if you can write it off. Just saying. The ideal is that we create with it. I literally I'm putting out a video coming up. I think I did the thumbnail for it already. And it says, stop learning about AI and start using it to make money. Now you go, okay, Captain Obvious. I'm serious. We got to stop learning about this stuff and start using it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm offering you the opportunity to work with me and work with me at a cost point right now for the month of, right? For the month of December, you name the price. There's no trick. You name it. Name the price. Said, hey, I'll buy you coffee. I got a link for you. You'll see it. It's scrolling right now. And then you get a chance to do that. I'm cool with that, man. Because if I can show you how to do this stuff, I'm serious. And you go, whoa, it could change your whole life. Oh, here it is. I got it. Oh, before we get off, I got to show you this. I didn't want to go this long. I did not want to go this long. But I got to show you this. Remember, stop learning AI and start using it to make money. Here's how. Now, I took this. I didn't like what it presented, so I created another one, and I was trying to get it to put my face in there or whatever instead of my name, and it did a decent job. Oh, where is it? It's not in here. Now you see how ChatGPT can do a little bit of stuff, but this is what I did with ChatGPT. Is I just said, listen, here is the actual cover that I used, and this is for a piece of writing that I'm doing on this subject, a digital product. And I says, here's the words and my face. Do not use any words below blah blah blah. Right? And it says, I get it. Generate the nano banana thumbnail prompt. I wanted the prompt, and that's exactly what it gave me. It says, first, and then I gave it a specific thing to do. I says, do not go on before you ask me any questions. That's a prompt that I actually got from Julian Goldie. Do not go on before you ask me questions. So it says, here's some questions to confirm. Stop learning, da da da. So it gave me a couple of things, because remember, it'll run on. It'll just run away from you if you don't contain it and contain it with what you tell it to do. It says, but you told me this. Do not use any words below the word money. Okay. So then I says, okay, great. I see. Then it just came back and gave me some more stuff. Sometimes ChatGPT will give you stuff that you didn't even ask for. So I didn't ask for that. And here, and add here, here's how in brackets. That's what I meant to say. Here's how, ask me again. You see, now it says, okay, great. Stop learning AI, start making money with it. Here's how. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to put it that way. Now that I have that particular prompt, now I took it over here. You see what it's asking me? It's saying, now this is how we should be using the legacy tools, right? We got to use them in a very different kind of way that does our bidding. And that is none of this prompt engineering stuff. That's old school. That's done. We got agents that we can just talk to. We can vibe code stuff up, but you utilizing some of these parameters, give it a chance to not just run off. That's where I told you how they want you to use credits. This is what I noticed. You just talk to it and it just runs off. And you're going, wait a minute. What if I said this a very specific way? Then it won't use up the credits. That's the game. I'm actually building a tool around helping people determine what tool to use based on credit usage or something like that. I'll get that over to you when I'm done. But anyway, I've gone on long enough. I think you understand the whole idea that we're actually just trying to help you do this. Turn ideas into content that you can eventually go out and sell. You are right now inside of the 30-day digital product a day challenge. So I congratulate you. Every day you show up, you notice I'm putting day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. This is day 9. I have not missed a day. I think one day I was late. Must have taken a nap or something. That was the first day, second day or something. But okay, this is what we're doing. You will be getting more stuff on tomorrow. Every single day, I'm dropping something new. I'm dropping something that you can pick up and use. The whole idea is I don't want to just use it, bro. I want to make money. Well, again, this is for educational purposes. I'm not giving you financial advice. People that try to make money online and off is not typical, implied, guaranteed, or even promised. Some do not. I forgot to show y'all something. Man, I didn't. Did I show y'all this? I can't remember. I'm going to show y'all this. And remember, none of this stuff is a brag. I can't stand braggarts. They brag and they like, I'm doing this. And I'm like, but if I can show you a blueprint, put you up on some game, the ideal is that you will like this podcast, you will subscribe to my channel, that you will push it out, help me with it. That's all. I want you to show as many people, listen to it, put it on every day, let it run. Let it run while you do, your thing. Maybe you look over there and go, what's Randy talking about right now? I got like 200 videos on that thing. So, okay, let me show y'all this, because this is the last thing that what we're doing this for is we got our products. Now, I want to show you, I made some money, right? But I've got some products in here that I've got to change out. That's why we're pivoting. Some of them have old title. Look at this. This thing has got, if I'm not mistaken, this has got CDs. We don't use CDs no more. It's old, right? So I've got to change it out. That's why I'm going to be using some of these other tools to change it out. All right. Some of them are pretty good. This is one that right here, this one does pretty good. I sold this off of this particular store and on some other stores. It did a good job for me. This is the one that we just changed. I added these in their same capacity because I got other stuff behind them. You know what I mean? This one right here is really old. And then some of these I need to change up because guess what? These don't fit, right? Your computer make you money. The affirmations course, the breast exercise course, those are pretty good. These are things that are mindset stuff, man. These things go really, really well on some of my other channels, some of my other places that I put them. Then I put them on here and the thing didn't show up. So I got to change these out. I wanted to do that live, but I got going on this other stuff. That's why we're pivoting. We're pivoting to using the tools that run for us, that do stuff easier, that do stuff faster. These AI agentic tools do that. They just do. So we will still use the Canvas of the world. We will still use them, but we will use them in a different capacity. This is what I want to share with you. I actually was able to cancel Canva. I was able to because I used another tool to cancel Zoom. Now, it brought back, $30? But that's $30 that I can maybe go now and get one of these other tools that do stuff at such a rapid rate, that do stuff better, faster, stronger, like Steve Austin. I remember that $6 Million Man. Depending on how old you are, you remember 6 million. If you're 40, you may remember. If you're 50, you remember $6 Million Man. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Okay. I'm getting loopy. All right. I'm going to go one whole hour, 40 some odd more minutes, and then I'm going to jump off. But I want you to see this stuff. I want you to see it. Stay tuned. Come into the next stream every day. Are you going to do it on Christmas? Yes. You going to do it the day after Christmas? Yes. Day before Christmas? Man, if I don't, y'all call me. Say, hey, man, hey, bro, where you at? And I'm doing everything I can not to. You see people do this sometimes. They record it and then they run it as if it's live. Well, I could hold up something that says, yep, this is the time. Right now it is 10 p.m. I'm literally looking at it. It's 33 degrees Fahrenheit with snow. So that's your proof. All right, y'all. See you on tomorrow. I got some really interesting for you tomorrow. It's going to be dope. You should be able to pick it up. The gem that I drop, bring your satchel. Bring your satchel because I am going to drop it so that you can pick it up. All right.